guys, and welcome to the very first vlog from the Happy Crafty Homemaker. I'm Carrie. Hi. I am the crazy woman behind the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and I hinted a couple weeks ago at some changes in the format of how I will be sharing in the future, and this is our first change. Coffee. Wow, that was some rude slurping. Sorry about that. So, I want to spend some time reviewing yarn subscription boxes. I've noticed a lot of people are reviewing these boxes and never coming back to how they felt about the pattern. Did they ever actually use the yarn? What yarn did they use for with what pattern? So for my reviews, I'm going to spend 3 months getting the subscription boxes. So my first one is Knitcrate. This is month 1, and we'll have 2 more boxes. I am going to make the pattern that is included in the Knitcrate. I know they used to have Crochet Crate. I think all Knitcrates now come with 1 knitting pattern and 1 crochet pattern. So I might try to alternate, or if I feel like the yarn is really going to speak more in one craft or the other. But I want to see, do the patterns that come with these, are they, advanced beginner friendly? Are they advanced friendly? I don't expect a pattern to be, something that a person who's only been knitting or crocheting for a week can accomplish. But an advanced beginner, that you can be doing color work by then, you can be doing lace work by then. When I started knitting, I had been crocheting for 20 years at that point, but within 2 months I was trying socks. I had already tried intarsia and failed horribly. I really wish I had had that swatch still when I moved, but it has since gotten lost. But that was a hilarious fail. So as an advanced beginner, are these things that are going to teach you new techniques, teach you how to look at yarn differently? Are you learning something? And as an advanced crocheter and an intermediate advanced knitter, there's always room to learn, and there's always room to look at construction or shape differently, or how your fiber plays with a certain set of stitches differently. I'm constantly, after 30 years of crocheting now, I am still learning new things. I didn't become very serious about it till about 10 years ago, but even still, I've worked my way through many books. I worked my way through lots of yarn, and I'm still finding new things to do with crochet. So I am very curious to see, how do these boxes hold up across the different skill levels? And not just, are you getting value with the fiber itself? Are you getting value with the yarn? Obviously you are, because the yarn, most boxes run $20 to $30, and for a 100% merino wool, those can be $25 to $35 a hank, and in some of these you're getting 2 or 3 hanks of yarn. So obviously the yarn has value in the box, and you're getting the monetary value in your box. But are you getting value with the extras? And in the case of Knitcrate, they don't include stitch markers, hooks, needles, anything like that. It's just the pattern and yarn from what I've seen. But are you getting a quality pattern? My understanding is you get a lot of coupons in these. I didn't do a lot of research coming into this, because most people, they get these as Christmas gifts, they get them as birthday gifts, not always from other people who understand yarn crafting. So is the recipient going to feel like they've gotten value, or are they going to feel like, well, this can go on my shelf? So, without much further ado, let's get to the unboxing. I've taken the tape off so we don't have to go through that process on here. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I forgot to mention. So I have not only this one with some very luscious yarn. I have 2 this month. They were running a special and there were a couple coupon codes I saw out there for an extra yarn or Knitcrate when you started your subscription. So I have 2. So I will be reviewing 2 patterns this month. The reason why this video is going to be so dirty and quick and get it out there is because they're already doing the preview for next month's box. And I'm only just now opening this one. So my doorbell's about to ring. Excuse that. I highly doorbell unless you're trying to film on your cell phone. So, before I show you the patterns, guys, look at that. Oh, I wish it weren't so cloudy today and I had better lighting for you to see this up against. Look at that. Look at the color. That is so, oh. And there's 2, there are two hanks. All right. I don't have a very professional setup here. This is set up on my grandson's table. So onto the floor, everything will have to go. I promise if I keep making videos, I will get better at this. But this is number 1. And it needed to be gotten out in a hurry. Forgive me. So, beautiful worsted weight yarn. This is Knitology by Knitcrate. So, this is a house brand. I was aware that they had a house brand yarn. The colorway for this is Paws Off. It's a bouncy worsted weight, 100% superwash merino wool. That would make a wonderful cardigan sweater. It feels really good up against your skin. So yeah, that would make an amazing sweater in general. I don't know if you can buy it by itself, but very, very soft. And it feels durable, but not coarse. I mean, there's no coarseness in this whatsoever. So they're saying the retail value, the skeins are $24 each. And we have 2 patterns. We have a crocheted yoga sock pattern and a knitted cowl pattern. Shipping of $5, so total retail value $63. And there is a coupon for this designer, Virginia Settler Reamer, for her, oh, you can see the theme, Modern Primary. So yeah, I will probably be going with the cowl because I can gift that, keep that, or donate it. That's the other thing is I'm taking a risk that the pattern associated to the yarns aren't going to be things I want. But I'm also a charity knitter and crocheter, so I could donate, gift, or keep anything that can be made from these. I'm assuming everything will have at least some form of quality to it that I can do something with the finished object. So I will probably go with the cowl. That's the kind of thing in this color I would keep. I can also easily gift that or donate it. Yoga socks, not so much. But I might come back and try some of the extra patterns with some of my stash yarn just to test the pattern. I don't see any harm in that whatsoever. And this is something you get to keep forever. So, you know, in the case of a lot of patterns, they're $5 each. That's $10 a permanent value if you like the pattern, you can make it as many times as you want. So for $10, that's 10 of your box right there. Not to mention the yarn. One-time use for knitting and crocheting. Durable, good when you finish. And oh, it's like I don't know if it's more pretty or wonderful to touch. Okay, we have another box. Let's do it. This is the extra box. This was the theme for the, so extra box. The regular Knitcrate, or it should be. Ooh, pretty, pretty. Once again, we have 2 hanks in here. Look. Ooh, I'm gonna try to angle that so the light really picks up this purpley red pink. Look at how pretty that is. Look. The only thing that could improve that color a little bit would have been like a just a hint of tan to it, but it's beautiful. Oh gosh. That's going to be so pretty to work with. Oh. Okay, so quality of the yarns, both have been amazing. I really love both sets of colors, but the tactile texture has just been rich and bouncy and buttery. See, this is Uru yarn by Knitcrate. Colorway Highlight, speckled singles, 100% superwash merino, fingering weight, 417 yards. And that feels, I've used a lot of superwash wool in knitting in the past, and I've never found it to be as soft as natural wool. It always feels much, much coarser to me, but for some reason, and maybe it's been a while since I've used a non-sock superwash, but these have been very, very soft to the touch. They're rich, soft, buttery, and bouncy. There's a lot of cushion spring to it. So I'm looking forward to working with these. These are both very, very pleasant to touch. What are our patterns? And what is the theme? Indigo glow. Maybe I ought to wear my glasses. I didn't think about reading. And so you dive into a palette of cool hues and explore the deep saturated tones of this month's theme. Let's see. Oh, how cute. So on the inside of the little booklet, you have your 2 patterns, which appear to be both shawls. I can't tell if they're shawls or cows. I think they're both shawls. But over here, you have something about the designers where they actually talk about the designers and give you their website. So if you like their design style, you can go and find some more of their patterns, not just hoping you can find them on Ravelry or Google search. So I'll probably do the knit cowl from the first box, and maybe I like both of these patterns. Maybe I ought to do the crochet pattern for this one just to get a good, especially since I have 2 boxes this month, a good balance. I'm not a huge fan of fringe, so I will probably skip the fringe, but that's a personal thing. Both of them say that they need 2 whole skeins, so you're not getting like an extra, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's exciting. I know it's really hard to, I'm being kind of understated today. I'm trying really hard to not over talk, but so there seems to be a color theme. Got my chair, got the box, got the yarn, and the pink kind of matches my sweater. Ha! Weird wine red violet shade. So I hope this wasn't horrible for you to watch. It's been very uncomfortable to make. I'm not gonna lie. I'm much more used to writing my life than saying my life. But I really thought this would be a better format for sharing this, especially when we get to sharing the finished objects made from each yarn. Because it's hard to sit down and read somebody's description of it was well written, but, or I didn't quite understand this, but, and in some cases, you know, I've gotten books where there have been abbreviations or the editor or publisher has tried to condense things and made the pattern unreadable, and they've had to publish or send out new information, or the original designer has had to say, hey, look, there was a mistake in my pattern. This is how it should have read. So I believe Knitcrate is owned and operated by yarn crafters. So they're not going, we shouldn't have that kind of problem with these patterns, but I do want to see how the pattern matches to the yarn. Is the pattern, as a durable good, is that really offering us value in its usability? Is it something, you know, I might want to remake something one day out of these. Is this something I would want to remake? Is this something I really wanted to make to begin with? So I really want to explore this, and not just with Knitcrate, but other ones. I know Vicky Howell just launched her yarn box subscription, so I will definitely be getting that one. I absolutely adore Vicky Howell. If she ever sees this video, hi Vicky, I've been watching you forever. You're the one that got me to knit to begin with. If you're not familiar with Vicky Howell, she had an amazing show on television. And for the longest time, I could not figure out how to knit. And watching her show and the way they did the over-the-shoulder filming, where you could see not just where the hands are, but where the wrist and the forearms are. For me, that was a big help. And seeing so many different, I mean, each knitter has a different way of doing things. Each crocheter has a different way of holding things. And seeing that for each designer she had on the show, I found to be wildly beneficial. So she's kind of my craft crush. I absolutely, when she started her show on YouTube, was over the moon excited about it, because I really miss having her content out there. So I'm curious to see how that translates to her subscription box. So that may actually be box number 2 that I get. But I'm going to sit down and make out a list and actually start planning things, and not so free-form videos in the future. But we will have one more announcement video coming, hopefully in the next 3 or 4 days, announcing what the next part of my challenge is going to be and how that came about. So vlog number 1 is done. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Hopefully from this point forward, we will have something more interesting to watch and more interesting to talk about. If this video is an abject failure and I just can't stand anything about it, I will probably write this blog, or write this as a blog post, sharing the pictures of the yarn, and go from there. And I think it'll be a lot more interesting once we have finished projects to go with the unboxed yarn. So until hopefully only 2 or 3 days from now, I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and thank you for stopping by.